Hello and welcome to the Ross Cloud Podcast. I'm your host, Carl Ross Sr., and this platform was created to motivate and to inspire in hopes that you will become a better you. I'd like to give a shout out to everybody that's listening all over the world. Thank you guys for your support. And listen, we have a very, very, very special guest with us. We have the one and only Miss LaQuetta Best. She is the owner and operator of Best Doodle. She's an educator. And listen, we are super excited to have her here. How you doing, LaQuetta?
I'm great. How are you?
It's good to see you again.
Thank you.
Yeah, good to see you again. Yes. Listen, you know, we did our interview before. So we're going to tell everybody this is part 2 of Miss Best. And we are really, really looking forward to finding out everything that she has going on now. So listen, I know you are from Goldsboro. You're from Winston-Salem,
yes,
by way of Goldsboro, though, right? Correct?
Correct.
And I know that you were brought up country living, and that's where your love for pets began.
Yes.
And for those folks that had the opportunity to listen to it, you know, you had probably one of the best streams on our show, which was awesome. I thought it was pretty interesting, but that goes to show how much people really love pets and dogs and the importance and the value that they have in our society.
Yes.
So your experience with dogs, I remember you telling me about a little bit before. It was with, I think your dad had beagles. Am I correct?
My grandfather.
Grandfather had beagles, right? And then you had a couple of pets too. And then that's where it all began.
Yes.
So what breed do you specialize in?
I specialize in golden doodles, and they are standard. So I don't breed minis.
Okay.
I breed standard golden doodles.
Okay, then. When you say standards and golden doodles, I guess that's kind of explain that if you would. Would you really elaborate a little bit more on that?
So standard is your average size, so
Okay.
50 and above
Okay.
pound range.
Yeah.
And then the golden doodles are basically a cross between golden retriever and poodle mixes.
I got you. So the genetics of the dogs, could you kind of explain the genetics of, I guess the part we talked about last time was the F1 and all of these different numbers you had before. I didn't have a clue. So could you kind of explain to us a little bit as we continue to build?
Absolutely. So your first generation, which is a golden retriever, full-blooded, and a full-blooded standard poodle bred together, that's your F1. So their puppies are your F1. That's your first generation.
Right.
When you breed the poodle back in, that's where you get the F1B.
Gotcha.
And you take that puppy and you breed it back with another poodle, you get the F1BB.
Wow.
And then mine are multi-generational golden doodles, which is a F1B or F1BB bred to each other.
Correct.
So they're multi-gen.
I got you. Gotcha. I love it. The beauty of science and how that all works together.
Yes.
Wow. They are beautiful dogs, too, if I must say so.
I love them.
Yeah. They're very beautiful. They have like this human aspect to them, too. It's like they're very, very smart. Their disposition, like they sit there like, you know what you're doing.
Right. They're so loyal.
Yeah.
They're loyal.
Yeah.
They're their humans person. So.
Yeah. Even the way their whole face, like everything about them, it's almost like they're smiling. You can almost tell when they're mad or they're angry or whatever's going on.
Oh, they don't want to be bothered.
Oh, they don't want to be bothered.
Yes.
I love it.
Yes.
That's just absolutely great. So what health tests do you perform on your dogs?
So I do embark genetic testing. And so what that is, it will test for all the genetic issues within both breeds, both the golden retriever and the poodle.
Okay.
And so that way, once you swab them, they'll give you all of the health portion.
Gotcha.
But it also gives you the furnishings. For example, is your dog a curly coat, a wavy coat, the color it will produce. So this one test will give you all of these different components.
I got you.
It's very interesting.
Yeah, because the just what you said, the coat, I've seen the coat. They are pretty different. Some are long, some are just what you said, curly. What do you find out that most folks like? So, from your experience?
With my experience, people who with allergies love the curlier coats. Yeah. And then you breed what you like. So people tend to lean and allow me to be the expertise.
Which I'm sure you love.
in the area. Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
I love both the curly and the wavy coat.
I love it. I love it. That's absolutely a beautiful and absolutely amazing. How do you socialize your puppies before they go to their new homes?
So I use a curriculum.
Do you really?
With them, and it starts from birth.
Right.
So, like, once they're 3 days old, we start doing this assessment on them. So
Sure.
you're desensitizing them. So you're taking the cotton swab and you're rubbing their paw pads. It's just different things that you do
Sure.
with the curriculum that
Sure.
stimulates them. So
Right.
at 3 days old.
I love it. I love it.
When they get older, we add in different things, whether it's noises,
Yeah.
textures, sounds.
Yeah.
So there's different avenues and things that we incorporate
Sure.
with age.
Sure.
but
I
it
love
starts
that.
at 3 days.
I love that. And speaking of which, the way you say curriculum, you got some experience with curriculum
Yes.
because you are a teacher.
Yes.
All right. And then we're going to get back into the breeding portion of. Let's talk a little bit about your teaching and the school that you teach at, if you would.
So I am a third grade multi-classroom leader.
Woo-wee.
20 years in.
Really?
20-year veteran.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
I'm at a high need school.
Okay.
We just came off the low performing list. So
All right. Awesome.
Yes.
Congratulations.
So
Congratulations.
very excited about that. A lot of work.
Sure.
A lot of work.
Sure.
But I love it. I love coaching, so I get to coach my team
Yeah.
to help them to be successful.
Yes.
While also still doing what I love, which is in the classroom, helping
Yes.
students to grow and reach their highest potential.
I love it. I love it. And all of this ties into everything that you're doing, too, which is beautiful. You're a mother, and then you work, and you're able to balance all of that. And I'm just basing this off of our previous conversation, and you've done an awesome job because you don't look like you're having a hard time at all.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
But I'm sure it can be it can be very challenging for you. But you seem to do a great job. So what kind of temperament can folks expect from one of your puppies? And do you have service dogs? Do you breed for service?
Actually, one of my puppies that I kept back, Phoenix, he is on a comfort dog team, and we do go out into the communities.
I love it.
To the colleges, the nursing homes, and things like that. I say when it comes to socialization and temperament.
Yeah. I guess that ties the same.
Yes, in the home.
Gotcha.
So it starts with me.
Sure.
But when you take your puppy home, it can't stop. You must continue to
So the
follow.
work continues as you continue.
Yes.
After
The
the training and everything, it doesn't stop.
That's right.
Because once you stop, it stops.
That's right.
I got you.
Right.
I got you. What do you require of potential puppy buyers? Like, what do you require? What do you look for when a person comes to you and they say, because, I've watched, I think it's like comes on a Saturday morning when they get ready to do adoption. Do you do an assessment of the home as well?
So I talk to my clients, a lot of conversation.
Sure.
And I can tell.
Automatically.
I can tell.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. And I can say by the grace of God, all of my dogs are in homes that are like mine. Because that's one thing I pray about. Before they're born, I pray.
Good
that
stuff.
Every dog goes to a home just like mine.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have patience.
Absolutely.
Because they don't come already programmed.
No,
So you have to
no.
have patience and a big heart. And you have to have a love for
Sure.
a genuine love
For pets.
I
'Cause understand that.
They're my babies.
Absolutely.
They're like children.
Yes.
And so that's
Yes.
what I expect. And I'm a lifetime support. So when they go home, I give you the material to read, which is your homework. But I'm also a phone call or a text away if you
I
have a
love that.
question.
I love that.
Because we're in this together. So
Yeah.
it's not like, here you
It's
go.
a team effort.
It is.
Yeah, it's ongoing. I got you. And I think that's beautiful that you continue to even coach the parents. Once they pick their pets up. Look at you. You got me saying parents now too, right?
Yes, my heart.
Yo.
Yes. They
Now,
are.
there was a key thing that I heard you say. You said as your relationship with God and the importance and the value that it brings to what you do. Could you speak a little bit and expound a little bit on your faith and your relationship with God as it pertains with you and the business and how that all works?
as a single mom, as a teacher, as an entrepreneur, I wouldn't be here with a smile on my face.
That's right.
Without God.
That's
He
right.
has kept me in my darkest times.
Come on.
He has uplifted me and guided me. And one thing, he's never left me. So just keeping the faith, and just I tell someone, when times get tough, start repeating your favorite scripture.
Come on.
And that'll change your mind.
It will.
So when you get those thoughts like, I don't know if I should do this. Just start speaking different words, saying your favorite scriptures.
Yes.
And it'll just change your whole atmosphere, and it'll allow you to listen. So you have to have that listening ear.
Come on, you got to listen.
To him.
Yeah. I love it. That's beautiful. I can tell you go to St. Peter's.
Yes, I do. Great teaching.
Yeah, great teaching. Great leadership there. Yes. Repetitive. You got to do your part.
Yes.
In order for it to really work for you. Mm-hmm. So do you allow your customers to actually see your kennel at all? Do you allow them to do that? Or, I don't know, do you?
So with safety, I'm going to be honest, I don't allow people, that'll call and say, hey, I want to come see your dogs. No, this is my home. I have to protect this.
I do understand that part.
I have to protect. This is my house. It's not an outside building. They are raised in my home.
I'll take a picture.
In my room, you
know. I'll take a picture.
Yep. And I'll FaceTime. And so I'll do FaceTime visits.
I like it.
But building that relationship with my
because you don't know everybody.
That's right. And you don't know everyone's motive.
No, you don't. So you got to be wise when you move. Beautiful. And as you stated before, what kind of support do you offer after a puppy is purchased? How long do they have to have that support? I know you said lifetime, but is there any kind of fee associated with that
I don't
at
charge
all?
a fee.
That's beautiful.
I don't.
That's beautiful. I think that's a key.
Help.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing. That was one of the questions. You beat me to it, but I wanted to know that anyway. The support that you have for each parent that picks up their puppy. That's a beautiful thing. Mm-hmm. Then they know they're not alone in this, because it can be challenging. Mm-hmm. I love it.
And they always say, thank you so much.
Sure, yeah, because you're saying to yourself, I get it. Mm-hmm. I understand. Mm-hmm. Have you ever had anybody call you and say, hey, I can't do this?
Yes. I had one family. She had a daughter of 5, and they had a smaller child. Yeah. And this was their first dog, so they were not accustomed to.
Sure.
Like, okay.
They didn't have a clue
of
what.
It's time to go potty. You got to go right now. I can't put the baby down. So that was challenging.
Sure.
But,
how do you work that out once they purchase it?
So,
I'm sure that's I'm sure that can be challenging.
It was challenging. It was my first. I actually had 2. Both of them had small kids, and they just were like, "What in the world?
I don't know if I can do this."
I didn't know.
Yeah, they babies.
And they apologized. I'm so sorry. And I'm like, it's okay.
Yeah.
Thank God that you figured this out within a week. One was 2 days.
Oh, wow.
And one was 5. And they both had children, like 6 and under.
Right.
And it is,
Sure.
Because the potty training,
it's work.
It's work. It's
yeah.
like toddlers.
You got to take them outside. They got to go.
The little boy going to hide behind the couch.
You better go get him and take him outside. Right. And you got to be prepared for that. I got you. Do you have something written in your clause at all for you to protect you, though, in the instance that somebody say, hey, I can't do this, but they've already paid you the full amount. Do you have something written out?
Yes.
Business-wise?
So in my contract, they can bring the dog back to me anytime, no questions asked.
Okay.
In those particular instances, I rehomed the puppies.
Okay.
It was such a short amount of time.
I got
you.
They
did lose their deposit.
Sure.
It's non-refundable.
That part.
But once the puppy was sold, I gave them, the difference.
I understand that, though, and I think that's fair. I think that's fair. I guess if they wait too long, it's like, oh.
Right, then it's just,
I'm sorry.
You're out of, you lost it.
Yeah, just go ahead and bring the puppy back, though, because I don't want the puppy hurt. Mm-hmm. But I can't do anything. So how long do they have? Is it 48? Do you do 48 or 72 hours?
Okay, so they have 48 hours from pickup to take the dog to their vet to make sure that everything that I gave them, that I'm selling a healthy puppy, everything is the same.
Like
if their vet sees anything debilitating,
I know you
threatening, give it to me in writing,
immediately,
and I will take the puppy back.
Okay, I love it. I love it. Do you provide references from previous puppy buyers?
So they have to do an application. So I do have an application on my website that they fill out, and I'm constantly in communication. So for me, for most of my puppy parents, by the grace of God, it's word of mouth. So either someone who has one of my grand puppies has referred someone else. Those who have found me online. I just have that conversation like we're talking. And it's a sense of discernment. You know. You can just tell by the questions and the conversation. Like, no, listen.
I don't think this not gonna work at all. Okay, that's good stuff. So, what are some of the challenges that you've had to face when you first started? I'm going to piggyback a little bit. So what are some of the challenges that you have to face? Because the premise of the show is to help people become better through conversations, through your story. So can you kind of tell the folks what were some of the challenges that you started, and what would you say to those new folks who want to actually be a dog breeder? Say 2 in 1.
So a challenge starting out is the unknown. Because I've taken the courses, I've read the material, I've studied, but it's different when you're living.
It is.
From the birthing process, it's just like a human. Every female is different. One mom may deliver all of her puppies within 3 hours. Another mom will take an extensive amount of time. So those were some challenges that I faced in the beginning. In my first litter, I lost a puppy. I lost him about a week ago, and that was hard because, you try to do mouth to mouth. You're in it. And so that was
pretty challenging, right? What would you say to new dog breeders, those that are really trying to break into this business? Because I remember we had the first conversation. I know it's hard for everybody to actually tutor you or be up. You're under their tutelage, so you can learn from them. Nobody wants the competition of somebody to talk. But what are some of the challenges they have to face is actually getting into this business?
I think it's important to have a good mentor or another breeder.
Mentorship, that's the word I was looking for. Yes.
That you can lean on. Someone who's living it, someone who has already lived it. And you can kind of work together. And so I had that with my first litter, and me and her, we're really close. She's in another state, but we met in one of our breeding groups. And it was we just joined together.
Just made it
we're
work.
Do this together and help each other out. So
that's cool.
I had a question. What do you think I should do about this? Someone to pick up and call. So I think that's important is educating yourself and not going into the business for financial gain. Wanting to better the breed and genuinely want to provide great homes for the puppies. Let that be your basis
first. Basis first. I think that's absolutely just beautiful, the way that you put that all together. And let's talk a little bit about registered microchips. I was going down I had to do a little bit more research because we had already talked, but I had to make sure that I touched on some of the things that I didn't talk about as I was listening today. And registered microchips, and why is it important to register your pet with a microchip? Kind of know the reason why, but I prefer to have you explain it more in detail because you're the expert.
I feel like microchipping is important because a lot of people see a dog, and sometimes they don't see a dog; they see dollar bills.
Absolutely.
And so, theft.
Quite naturally.
And you got somebody that can take it, and eventually they'll post a picture. And you're like, that's my dog. Well, you can prove it.
I got you.
You can prove it, and all you have to do is scan it at the vet.
The
4th of July, fireworks. People want to take the dog to the park. Fireworks and dogs don't mix.
No, they don't.
And what happens? A lot of dogs end up in the shelter.
Run off.
Because they've ran off. And so it's just an added layer of protection. That your dog can be scanned. And everything is registered. Under your name.
Sure. I love it. What are your thoughts about the wireless collars? The borders. What are your thoughts about it? Being that you are such a pet lover and you have a love for pets, what are your thoughts about that from your perspective?
I would never. That's just me. the shock collars, because again, they're like my human. So I wouldn't put a shock collar on my dog. I'm not against anyone.
Sure.
But for me and my household, I just wouldn't, because you're not gonna zap your child every time they run off at the store. And where do you go?
I got you.
So it's the same concept.
Sure, it is.
So I'm all about positive, reinforcement, and then you having a fence.
Yes.
Your dog. If you have a fence, if you don't have a fence,
get you
on
one.
A leash or get a fence.
Or get you a fence. I love it. So you like your pets just to go ahead and run free. And if they get away, hopefully they got that microchip in them, and you can recover them. I thank you for answering that too. I know that was just such a kind of like one of those moments where you say, "Duh," you know why you need a microchip, but it was important for me for them to hear your heart and also to hear, from your expertise and everything, so they can hear that. So I want to have a little fun. Okay. I'm going to have a little fun with you. I like to have a little fun as we close out. Is there anything else that you wanted to say about your breeds and just the value that they bring to the comfort that they bring to us?
Great companionship. I just, like I said, I love the breed. Yeah. Everybody keep asking, do you have anything smaller? I'm like, no, I love big dogs. I just genuinely love the breed. And then for kids who have different issues or adults who are aging, when I get videos of how once the dog comes in the room, you can just see the light on the person's face.
Absolutely.
And that's, knowing that they are healing hearts. So they're out in the world healing hearts and bringing comfort and joy to home.
I love it. I love it. What are some of the things that you like to see whenever you go to, whenever you do the community service with your dogs? What does that feeling give to you? What are you feeling at that moment when that happens? When you see the joy on other people's faces?
It brings me joy. I personally prefer the colleges.
Okay.
As a teacher, we never know what people are going through, and then they're away from home. Yeah. You're going through all these different changes. So just in that moment to know that my dog is just helping you to take your mind off of
everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah. And they seem to have that kind of effect on people whenever they walk past them, because whenever you see it, that's the first thing. Oh, that's an amazing looking dog. It's the first thing you say when you look at them. So they command attention.
Yes.
Yeah. So have a little fun. Okay. And thank you for sharing that with us. So I like to have a little fun. The first one is, what is your top 5 breeds of dogs? Okay. Top 5.
Top 5. My top 5.
And you can make it 3 if you want to. Maybe it's just 3.
Standard poodle.
Okay.
Love standard poodle.
Okay.
Obviously, I grew up, I love the golden retriever. I never had one, but I just love the look, and I loved everything about them.
Okay.
Personality.
Okay.
Great Dane.
I remember that. Yes. I remember that. Yep.
I love a Rottweiler.
Do you really?
I do.
What's the misconception that people have about a Rottweiler or a pit bull?
The aggressive state.
Yeah.
Because your golden doodle can be aggressive if you if you don't treat it,
Facts.
So your toy poodle. So it's like everyone gets a stereotypical, get a stereotype. So that's one thing. But one thing about Rottweilers, they're very loyal. They're loyal dogs.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I think knowing the history of why the dogs were bred will help people to understand.
I love that.
About,
I love that. Can you talk a little bit about that growl that Rottweilers have? That's a very interesting growl that they have. If you're not used to them, then you think they're angry, but they're really not, though.
They're just big teddy bears.
Yeah, that's the way they show affection, actually. Mm-hmm. I love it.
They're just, but they'll die for their owners.
Absolutely, yeah, I love it.
Loyalty that they have.
That's interesting that you said Rottweiler. Mm-hmm. Did you say that last time?
No,
I don't think you did. We didn't ask you that. Yeah.
But yeah.
All right.
Downside.
Yeah. Absolutely. All right, we're gonna keep going.
Okay.
What's your favorite R&B song?
Okay.
And your favorite gospel song?
Okay. Ooh, that's a tough one. So R&B, I am a Mary J. Blige fan.
I can see that.
Yes,
I can see that.
I love
411.
Yes.
Best album ever.
Yes.
Yes.
I don't think I have just one.
Sure.
I have all her albums.
Yes.
But I just love her as an artist.
Yes.
Music.
Absolutely.
My favorite gospel song. Ooh. Oh gosh.
Probably a ton, though.
I do. I have a lot. I'm trying to think of one.
It's so many.
It is so many.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah, but I can say I love Todd Delaney.
Yeah. Yeah, he's very
Like
good.
him,
Yep.
like Kirk. You know,
Yep. Can't go wrong with Kurt.
No,
Yep.
like Mary.
Yep.
So it's like my artist.
You got so many.
Yeah.
I got you. All right.
Mood.
Yeah, exactly. And last but not least, your favorite movie of all time.
Ooh, my favorite movie, Home Alone.
That's a good choice.
Yeah.
You know what? That is a good movie. Believe it or not, that's a great movie.
I love Home Alone.
Yeah. Christmas time. It's a beautiful movie.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Good choice. Good choice. Now, how can the folks get in contact with you?
Okay. Best Doodles NC.
Yeah.
On Instagram, Best Doodles NC. Facebook, Best Doodles NC. My website, Best Doodles NC.
That's right. Tell it all.
I'm also a Good Dog Breeder, so you can find me on the Good Dog
I love it.
site as well. So I'm a certified Good Dog
I
Breeder.
love it. I love it. Beautiful. And in closing, could you say something positive to some young woman, being that this is National Women's History Month? Can you say something positive to the women out there in closing?
To all the women that's listening, stay encouraged. Don't give up.
Yeah.
Keep the faith. Just pray. Be consistent. And just know in due time, if you don't faint, you shall reap.
I love it. I absolutely love it. You heard it first here on the Ross Cloud Podcast. Thank you, LaQuetta.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're very welcome. This is the Ross Cloud Podcast. I'm Carl Ross Sr. Make it a great day and keep being great. Peace.